One of Trucking TV's objectives is to push for better facilities available to drivers in the UK. But we already have some top-class truck stops and we could just do with a lot more. Chippenham Pit Stop, just off Junction 17 on the M4, is a great example. It's been in business for years, so when we were passing, we stopped off to take a look and have a chat with manager Neal Walford.
The business was bought by the current family 27 years ago, and it was obviously much smaller then, and the whole site was much smaller then. And as the years have gone, it's gone through various different stages of improvement and developments. And this has been the most current one, which is probably 18 months old now. We did it last year to bring it really up to speed to where everybody else is, but also to improve the facilities for the drivers that we get here. We get probably about 100 drivers a night, and those are just people that stay over, and during the course of a day, well, over the course of a week, we sell 1,200 breakfasts. So it's a busy old, it's a lot of sausage and bacon, it's a busy old site. So, and the facilities we've got now, I think, are sort of bang up to date for what the drivers want and what everybody wants, really. So it sort of takes away from that old version of the greasy spoon, as it were.
Tell me the difference now as you see it between this and the kind of truck stops that exist on the motorway.
I think we're more sort of home from home here, I guess. I mean, for argument's sake, we use all local produce. We only use fresh vegetables. We don't use any rubbish at all. Or I define as rubbish. All the cakes that we make are homemade with local free-range eggs. So for me, where we are today is about, I think, what people want today. They don't want mass-produced frozen stuff. They want to know where the food comes from and how it's made. And because we make 95% of it here, we know exactly where it comes from. So I think that's where we differ. We're not, we still make a profit out of it, of course we do, but the way we do things has more skill involved, certainly with the chefs that we have here. It's not gone over freezer, defrosted and sold. We actually physically make it here, whether it's the cakes or the stews or the cottage pie or even the mashed potato is fresh local potatoes. So that's why I think we differ.
When the guys come to stay for a night here, what's the package?
Well, it's £20 they pay per night, which includes a £5 meal voucher. Most of our meals are around the £6 or £7 mark. We go a little bit further than that if you want to, but the standard meal is £6.75, and if you want to pay an extra £1.50, you get the shower as well.
You've got a properly paved and surfaced park. A lot of people don't have, do they?
No, and I think it's one of the most important things you can invest in. And these lorries cost an awful lot of money to begin with, and tyres cost an awful lot of money. So I think if you offer a good service, it's all part of the quality of service that we offer here, and that won't ever change. I mean, we've actually extended the bottom of the one side of our lorry park, and that costs £120,000 just to do that small piece. But we believe it's worth doing because, again, it gives the quality element. Our park is good here. We've got really good lighting. We've got 20 cameras on site that it makes the site secure. So I think we've got the whole package with it. The shop was really designed to attract more than just the truckers, the local residents or the car drivers, etc. Just to bring it up. The previous shop was very much geared around truckers. So we wanted to try and invite others, if you were, within that category. It's amazing the effect it's had, really, because we never sold fresh fruit and vegetables before. The people who buy more fruit than anybody else are the drivers, which was like we didn't see that one coming. Otherwise, I'd have sold bananas a lot sooner. And the stuff that we sell in the shop, whether it's kitchen rolls or I learned something a few months ago that baby wipes are great for getting extra grease on the hands. It's all these things you learn. So the shop, even though it was initially bought in for other people, the people who've made the best use of it are actually truckers, which is great, absolutely fantastic. And rather than take a couple of bags of crisps and a Mars bar for the week, they'll take 4 or 5 bananas, which will keep just as well in the cab and far healthier as well. So the shop was a real change to what it was. The restaurant, okay, we've decorated it out, but the menu is pretty much the same as it was a breakfast, so to speak. But the shop was a real innovation for us, a real sort of toe out of the water, if you like. But that's proved a great success, not only for the locals and the travelling people also, but the drivers as well. The drivers I've had no complaints whatsoever about that shop. I think it's brought it bang up to date, and the range that we sell covers everything the trucker needs. We still keep all the trucker stuff, you know, the chargers and the polish and everything else, the seats. But we do other things like the household gear and all the fresh fruit and vegetables, and even the chill section, which has grown massively. You know, fresh meal, bacon, sausage. A lot of drivers take those abroad with them because they're not too keen on the European food, so they like to take the good English breakfast with them. So for that's been a big success for us, even though it was a real, you know, it was quite a risk, if you like, because we weren't too sure which way that was going to go. The barber itself, it's just a great service to offer. You know, if the guys are here, got a bit of time on their hands in the evening, get the haircut for the weekend, it just makes perfect sense to me, really. So it's just another little bit that we do for the guys, and that's mainly for the drivers, obviously. But having said that, Neil Hamilton, the XMP, has his haircut here, so we've got a real mixed bag.
Mrs. Hamilton doesn't.
No, but he comes regularly to have his haircut. So we get and we get local MPs and councillors. They all come here. So, you know, and it's quite interesting. But a lot of the local councillors do come here for breakfast because it's a town breakfast, and it's a damn sight cheaper than our local competitors, shall we say, on the motorway. We've been here long enough to sort of have a really good relationship with the local councils, and they sort of understand what we're trying to do. Especially when we've applied for various different licences that we needed to operate here, they understand, and we're in a luxurious position to be so close to the motorway that we're not really of issue to anybody, and most of our local residents actually come here for breakfast anyway. So we've got it sort of in the bag, if you like, to a certain extent. But I could understand the issues because a lot of people, are very wary of the noise level. But if you come here at night, for anybody else out there, if you come here at night, you can hear a pin drop here.
What about fridge wagons and things like that?
We don't allow fridge wagons anymore. Well, we do, but they have to be shut off by 10 o'clock. Right. That's a slightly different ball game. We don't allow fridge wagons here for that reason. We do have them every now and again, but they park by the entrance, so going out. They are noisy. I used to drive fridge wagons myself, so I know all about them, and you can get locations for that. But here, because of where we are, out in the stick, we tend to don't have them after 10 o'clock at night. I don't understand why there aren't more businesses like this. This is a successful business. We do very well. Our repeat business, as I say, most nights we're at 100% occupancy and parking. We sell 1,200 breakfasts a week, and that's increasing. So, and in a climate that we're sort of bucking the trend almost, really. And that is, as I said before, that's based on three things, and I think that's the same with any business. The price is right value for money, the quality of the product, and the service. And I think if anybody wants to set up a truck stop, it's a great business to have. And the logistics industry is not going to get any smaller. It'll only get bigger if anything else. So more places are needed like this. But I think it's very often not what you have, it's how you do it. It's how you run it, and don't treat the guys like they want the biggest fry up in the face of the earth. We don't fry anything here. Not one single thing do we fry. So I think it's how you do it as opposed to where it is. But I think if you get that mixture right, and you get the product right, the price, and the staffing levels right, and the service right, I think it's an absolute no-brainer for me. Absolute no-brainer. And the way this business is going to last 2 or 3 years, absolute no-brainer.